If you just saw the actual market close this week, you will definitely see Wall Street and the market is freaking out. Let's get started in a deep dive of what is happening on the markets and what you should be doing with your money. One thing I want to know, a lot of times, this is actually one of my students of mine was talking about, how do you sustain red? Regardless whether it's a long-term portfolio or a trading portfolio. I have been able to stomach red in general, and let's just talk about the perspective of just your long-term portfolio. I own a lot of Nvidia myself. Does it suck seeing a 6% drop in a single day? If you look at the daily candle, yeah, that is ugly. But at the end of the day, I've worked on my mental game of understanding like, hey, even though Nvidia is down 6%, the value of the company has not changed at all. The market is just doing what the market does. It's going up and then it's going down. The market doesn't just mean every single day is going to be green. It doesn't. But honestly, now I look at this, we had a clear head and shoulders pattern going. What I'm trying to say is you have to have mental grit and control the fact and train yourself, especially when we get bear markets eventually, and we always do historically. It is a great opportunity. And if you train your mind to think like that, you're always going to come out on top. And that's something that I always tell my students. If you want to build wealth, the best upper hand that you could have is building wealth when the market is red and when you see blood on the streets and everyone's panicking. That's the best way. Now, for me, this is not really much of a dump, in my opinion. Yes, Nvidia is down 6% and we have big tech just dying down a bit, but not particularly. I need more blood. And that's just one thing that I highly advise, is just thinking about that. Another one, as I was mentioning, is healthcare. Healthcare, we've already discussed, is one that's already moving. We have Cigna Group, as you can see. Clearly, we have a bullish engulfing candle and it's already consolidated for quite a while. And then boom, we have the breakout. Where do I see this going next? Well, it's 298.55. And the biggest thing is, again, as I was mentioning before, healthcare stocks are defensive in nature. You should always be watching where the money is going. It does not seem that the markets of just big tech is funding the way. Look at what just happened to Nvidia. Nvidia is down 6% in a single day. That is not healthy price action. And we have a massive rejection candle. Market loves faking people out, thinking like, oh, we're gonna rip higher, and then boom, massive rejection, validated volume. Semiconductors have been refueling this bullish market. So now it's showing signs of, it's definitely slowing down. Obviously, Wall Street is moving their money out of stocks like Nvidia into stocks like consumer staples. You always have to understand the rotational flow. What has caught me is definitely looking at consumer staple stocks, because we've already agreed consumer staples are moving. I just organized because I have a long laundry list of stocks, and so I just organized them. If you look at, for instance, KMB, which is in the consumer staple sector, if you look at this, we have dumped, we have clearly found a floor at 92.71, and now buyers are coming in. We have a long lower wick hammer candle with validated volume. This is a trade that I'm in, and I'm looking for this one because, one, sector rotation is occurring as it is. Hammer candle, validated volume. Where do I see this going? I'm watching it to break 183, and then afterwards I'm looking for it to break 104.50. It has a higher time frame. We have a longer downtrend going, but I think this has enough momentum for it to go, just based off of that alone. And if you notice, the majority of the stocks that are green right now are all in consumer staples. So really, I'm looking for which one has the best risk to reward. KMB is good, and then also Clorox is another one. Again, in consumer staples, you can see it. If we consolidated, and now we have a bullish engulfing candle with validated volume and a bearish week. I am always watching for sector rotation because I want to understand Wall Street doesn't just leave their money and exit. They're parking their money elsewhere. And this is clearly the signs of they're putting their money into consumer staples. Now, I'm not saying, hey, put all your money into consumer staples. Absolutely not. I'm just saying, watch the money flow. That is one of the most important advice pieces that I can give you. The SPY closed with a bearish engulfing candle, and as you can see, we are closing lower and making new lows. The SPY is now closing lower, and now we have confirmed that sellers are in control. Look at that volume. It's now reaching. We have been going up for weeks in a row since end of March, and you can't just keep on continuously going up. It completely makes sense where we're at. Why did we go down? That's the big question, which is it's a mix of news as well as the market is taking a breather. That's a different thing. Another thing that we should really look at is what are the sectors actually really doing well. So as you can see, I have all the sectors here. And if you look at what's dumping, it's big tech, the biggest thing. XLK, look at this. It's all obviously majority of The dumping that's occurring in the market is led by big tech, as you can see, a massive rejection with validated volume. And the biggest thing that this should be, and I kept on warning you guys, what is occurring when you're always looking, what is actually holding the market? Well, it's right here. Consumer staples, everything else is red, but look, consumer staples, we have a bounce occurring, utilities, healthcare, that is all very defensive in nature, which means the market isn't really bullish. It's taking a breather. Defensive sectors is not a good sign of health. And as you can see, the other one's XLY, which is consumer discretionary. And then we also have XLE, which I will go to. Industrials is up. Energy is also just consolidating. Also, if you want to follow me, please like and subscribe to this channel. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon for the next one. Thanks.